All right, hello everyone. Happy Thursday and welcome to this month's 15-minute breakdown. This month we are excited to be covering is retail programmatic, right for your brand. All right, so let's get right into it. First, some logistics. Everyone's favorite question, the recording and slides will be in your inbox shortly after the session today. We'll also have a link in there if you want to go back and watch our 15-minute breakdowns from earlier this year. But we know everyone's always looking for the recording. That will be in your inbox by the end of the day. Also, you only have 15 minutes to do so, but if you do need to hop and then join back again, and within the next 15 minutes, you can do so with that same link that has been in your inbox in your calendar hold. We also have some awesome resources in our handout section. So if you look to the dashboard on your right and toggle from chat to handouts, you can download those, including our recently released digital ads benchmark report, a Reddit cheat sheet, and our big bets for the CMO in 2023. Also, as some of y'all have already, join our chat, introduce yourselves, let us know where you're tuning in from. You can also submit questions for our speaker that she'll answer at the end of the session. And then finally, make sure to join our poll questions. Similarly, you can go from chat to polls in the dashboard and let us know if you want to talk to our teams after the session today. Finally, I'll introduce myself. My name is Carrie Mallett. I'm a content strategist here at Tinuiti, and I will be hosting the webinar today. So first things first, a little bit about Tinuiti. Here at Tinuiti, we've mastered the media that matters most. We are the largest performance marketing firm across streaming TV and the triopoly of Google, Facebook, and Amazon. At Tinuiti, we understand that success requires the strategy and channel specialization. That approach wins awards and recognition across the industry, such as the American Business TV Awards and the Shorty Awards, and allows us to grow some amazing clients like those that you see here. All right, I am going to turn it over to our fantastic speaker to introduce yourself.
Thank you. Thanks, Carrie. My name is Raquel Kozlowski. I'm the Associate Director of Retail Programmatic here at Tinuiti. So my main focus is to discover, build, and maintain new partnerships in the programmatic space, and then bring them back to our team so they're able to proactively offer them as strategic solutions to our clients. So we'll go ahead and talk through quite a bit within this next 15 minutes. I'll try to keep it pretty quick and brief. And if you guys have any questions afterward, we can go over them. But we're just going to talk through what is retail programmatic, then dive into the growth of the space, what the benefits are, and where does this data come from, and then end it with our key takeaways. So we first want to start with a poll. So kind of want to know, has anyone run a retail programmatic campaign before? Are you running one now? Or maybe you don't even know what it's about, so we're going to dive into that and tell you more about it.
All right, so you can answer our poll. It's live right now. If you go over from chat to polls, it is the poll on the top there. And it looks like most of our respondents are saying no. One person saying yes, but not running right now. So definitely a lot to learn. And so I'm going to go off camera and let you take it over, Raquel.
Awesome, thank you. All right, well, great. That's actually great because we have a lot to learn then here in the next 15 minutes. So I'm going to go as quick as I can. But first, I want to talk about what programmatic advertising is. So before actually talking about what retail programmatic is, what's programmatic as a whole? So programmatic advertising is essentially an automated way to buy media placements online. So picture it as an online auction when you're bidding against competitors and other brands to be in those advertising placements. To choose the right placements, we have to target and get in front of the right audience. So to do that, we have to utilize first and third-party data available in the platform that we use to build these campaigns in. Retail programmatic is done the same way as that auction, essentially, but by utilizing retailer data instead of relying on cookies as the main source of our data. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper into where these retailers get this data shortly, but that's essentially what retail programmatic is. Let's talk a little bit about the growth. So why is retail programmatic so important, and why are we focusing on it so much at Tinuiti? So we have a couple of graphs here showcasing data around programmatic and showcasing how retail is evolving in the space. So to go back a few years, especially with COVID happening, from 2020 to 2023, we saw a 74% increase in e-commerce display ad spend and are projected to see another 79% increase over the next 3 years. Out of all the categories spending within display advertising today, retail accounts for the biggest portion of spend at 25% and $35 billion. So with retail ad spend growing so rapidly, we know it's important for our clients to be in that space to defend their brand against other competitors. If they aren't in that space, a competitor will be. But on top of the e-commerce growth, there are tons of other benefits for utilizing these retailer partnerships. First is targeting. So as cookies are going away, it's crucial that we have this retailer partner data in order to get in front of the most relevant audience. And again, over the next couple of slides, we'll kind of talk where that data actually comes from the retailers. It's also a great way to find new customers. So with the insights that we get from this retailer data, I mean, think about all the purchases they get, all of the, some of these retailers even have their own credit cards that customers are using. They're constantly logged in for their loyalty rewards. We're able to get all of those insights, and then we're able to discover new and incremental audiences to drive that awareness. There's a ton of data to see. So kind of like what I just said, we are getting tons of metrics when we run these campaigns. We are able to use omni-channel reporting, meaning even if they're not purchasing online and they see our ad and then purchase offline, maybe in Target or another retailer, we're able to tell that, and we're still able to attribute it back to our campaign. And then we typically see an increase in brand lift and search metrics. So when we talk about programmatic, we're talking about usually those display ads, video ads that you kind of see all over online. This helps increase organic and page search results, as well as an overall brand lift. As people are seeing these ads, whether they're clicking on them or not, it usually is getting in their head. So they're able to go ahead and search and look up more on the brand. As we run these programmatic campaigns, we usually see an uptick in that. So where does this data come from? So this data comes from, we work with tons of retailer partnerships, and that's kind of what I'm in charge of as far as programmatic goes. So I work with all of these retailers and their point of contacts to say, what kind of proprietary retailer data do you have? So where is it coming from? It's coming from the online browse and purchase data, in-store purchases, app and loyalty data programs. These people are logged in, they have profiles. When you're shopping at a store, we're able to see all of that. We're able to figure out if maybe you're a new mom purchasing products, or you just bought a new home. All the retailer credit cards that are out there, even registry signups, bridal, again, baby showers. We're able to kind of make an inference on what your household data is, what you're purchasing, what brands you like. Some of these example audience segments that come out of it, we can put these together by category, brand lookalike. We can even go after competitor brands with some of our with some of the retailers that we partner with. We can see if you're a heavy or a light buyer of snacks, or again, baby products or lawn products. We can see if you're a new or lapsed buyer. So maybe you haven't bought from our brand in a while, and we want to get back in front of you. And then we obviously have demographic targeting. We're able to geo-target if maybe your brand is only in certain stores or in certain areas and locations. And then, like I said, household audience segments. We package these up, and then we're able to put it into a actual platform where we build these campaigns and go ahead and target your consumers. So I know this is a quick rundown, but some of the key takeaways is programmatic ad spend is continuing to grow. It's grown over the past few years and just exponentially is growing over the next 3 to 4 years that we can see as we see this projected growth. It's the second fastest growing and largest category for display ad spend. So it is a big deal, and that's why we hone into it so much here at Tinuiti. As cookies are going away, it's important to rely on these retail partners who have this proprietary data from shopping behaviors, on-site searches, browse history, to really use for that targeting and to make sure that we're getting in front of the relevant customer that we need to. And then we can still measure that data. We can see what's working and what's not. Maybe you can even take that to work with your other tactics that you have. We know programmatic wouldn't be the only thing you're running in your media mix. And then utilizing that retailer data and inventory helps your brand defend while simultaneously increasing brand lift. So if you're not in that space, a competitor or another brand is just taking that inventory. We want to make sure that your brand is top of mind for any consumer. So the big question, is retail programmatic right for your brand? I will say most brands that come to me, whether they're retail brands, meaning they're endemic, or non-retail brands, meaning non-endemic, whether they're B2B or B2C, I work with a huge variety and lots of industries when it comes to working with retailers and their data. So thousands of audience segments and tactics are available for all different goals and types of brands. Some of the brand goals could be increasing your awareness, driving product detail page or even website traffic. So on Amazon, off Amazon, any other retailer. generating sales, garnering more leads, increasing brand engagement. We're able to help any type of brand with any goal or any categories utilize this retailer data. So I would say if you think you have a brand that could really utilize this data, we can always dig deeper and see what kind of audiences are really out there that could benefit you guys. So that was a quick little snapshot of what retail programmatic is. It gets a lot deeper than that, but do we have any questions? I'm definitely available. We left a little bit of time here to answer any questions that anyone might have.
Thank you so much, Raquel. You timed that perfectly so that we can get some questions in. So let's first start off with most of our audience is not currently running a retail programmatic campaign and hasn't before. So given that, what would you say is your best piece of advice or like the number one thing they should be thinking about in order to start retail programmatic?
Yeah, I would say really think about what your, whenever we talk to a client right away, it's what your client's goals are. So what's the primary, what's the secondary goal? Because that really is how we build these campaigns out and how we choose the right audiences. It's not a blanket, there is no template. We really do have the expertise here to make sure that we're really looking at those goals and making sure that we're choosing the exact audience segments for you or even the right tactics. So we can do display, we can do CTV, meaning we can do any type of video on streaming TV or even just online video. So it's really about starting where your client's goals are and letting us know so we're able to dig a little bit deeper.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. We had a question come in from Tim who was asking, do you need to store on Amazon to use their platform? Their understanding is that you do.
Yeah, no, you actually do not. So there are a lot of different nuances. They do have different policies for how you can use their data if you are not a brand on their, if you're not actually selling on their store. So there's two different sides of it. There's endemic, meaning if you're a brand on Amazon, a brand or even category. So say you have a baby product, but you're not actually on Amazon, that is still considered endemic because they do sell baby products on Amazon. Then there's non-endemic, which are typically services. There are some other things out there, but financial, insurance, things that aren't sold on Amazon at all, but you can still use their data to link out to your site. So you can actually use the Amazon DSP to run programmatic if you're not on the Amazon site. There are just nuances and policies to it.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. And then we had another question come in from Rick. We'll answer that and then we'll be perfectly at time. Rick is asking, do CTAs seem to be in marketplace or can you take shoppers offsite? And what are some best practices there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we can take shoppers offsite. I've run a couple of campaigns, or our team has. So you can take shoppers offsite. Again, it just depends on the retailer. So each retailer kind of has their own policies on how they run that and what kind of different reporting we can get. But almost any retailer we work with, we can actually see full omni-channel reporting. Meaning we can see online and offline purchases that can attribute back to our campaign. Best practice, I would say, is again just really working with each retailer. I know it's kind of hard to say because it's so nuanced, but just working with each retailer, seeing what they have available for the brand, and then we choose kind of the best retailer that really fits for you, whether it be on their audiences or what kind of reporting they offer.
Awesome. Thank you. And great questions from our audience. All right, as we wrap, I want to let everyone know we have a fantastic report that was recently released of our 2023 CPG customer journey. And so you can click the link that I just launched in the bottom left of your screen in order to access the report in full. There is so much interesting data in there. So really encourage everyone taking a look and being able to keep an eye out for more from Tinuiti as well. Also, just as a reminder, this is our 15-minute breakdown monthly series. And so we will be having another one in June. That first Thursday in June, we'll be covering Reddit advertising and have a lot more awesome sessions lined up for Q3 as well. And so you are automatically registered by registering for today's. And so we hope to see you at our next session in June as well. All right. Well, thank you so much, Raquel, for joining us. And again, just 15 minutes. You did a fantastic job. And thank you again for our audience as well.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining.